Hi, I'm Kat and I play Red. We do like a good glow up. When you see lots of games come in for Kickstarter previews, you see a lot of games at various stages of development. Sometimes you get a prototype and it's stunning, and other times you might get a prototype that's written on bits of paper and stuff. So consequently, it's always really nice when we get to see the finished version. And that's what we're going to do today. We are going to have a look at something we've looked at before that's now available. So today we are going to be looking at Lizard Wizard. Designed by Glendrover, published by Forbidden Games, hence the nice red box. Let's have a look at how it plays. Set in the magical land of Astoria, players will play as archmages vying for the loyalty of wizards from across the land. You will need to create towers, summon familiars, research spells and explore dungeons to win the game and wield ultimate power. In your turn, you would choose one of 6 available actions to do. So let's have a look at them. The first thing you can do is gather reagents. Each player will start with 3 cards in their hand. So we're going to choose one to play. Let's have a look at what we want. This one. I'm going to play this one. So I'm going to play this one. I get to take 3 of the commodities shown at the top. So that is, an Eye of Newt, a toadstool and a horn. Then you're going to increase the value of the reagents shown at the bottom of the card. So in this case, that's Nightshade, Eye of Newt and Foxglove. Then we discard that card and draw another one into our hand so that we always have 3 every time. After we've done that, we can cast a spell if we have the reagents for it. We'll come on to spells in a bit, but this is one of the 3 ways you can cast a spell. I'm long off that, so we won't worry about that for now. During your turn, you can only have 10 resources in your pool. However, you can have an additional 1 for every tower you have in play. So at the moment I could have 10. If I had 1 tower, I could have 11, and so on. The second action you can do is exchange reagents for mana. So let's just give me some reagents. Oh, look at all the lovely stuff I've got. So, and let's pop our toadstools up there. I can trade in as many reagents of one type as I want. So here I could trade 4 toadstools in. They're currently selling for 8 mana a piece, so that would be 32 mana. So I'd pop them in. I would take my 32, and then the toadstool price is going to go down by 1, 2, 3, 4 because I sold 4. You can also trade in as many different reagents as you want for 1 mana each. So I could trade these 3 in for 1 each, in which case the market price wouldn't be affected, but I wouldn't get very much. So it's going to be a rare occasion in which you want to do that, but you can do it if you want to. Moving down the board, the next action you can do is recruit wizards. This is done via auction. So let's say I'm going to start an auction for Draco here, who is a necromancer. So we're going to begin with me. I'd put a bid in at, I don't know, say 12. The next player would have to bid higher or pass. If you pass, you're out of the auction. However, if I then went to 20, the next player would have a chance to increase that, and so on until everyone's out and one player wins. The player who wins will take the wizard, pop it into their tableau, and that would refill. Now, if I had called the auction and I hadn't won it, I'd actually get another action. That could be another auction, or it could be any of the other available actions. Each of the wizards is aligned with a specific school of magic, and each one of them aligns with a different reagent. So here, the enchantment, and you'll see the mandrake symbol at the top. Alchemy here has the Eye of Newt, and the necromancy here that I won, it's Nightshade. So if I have this wizard, whenever I take Nightshade from a reagent card, I'll get an extra Nightshade. Now, these symbols appear on the wizards, the spells here, the towers, and the familiar. So they're on the towers and they're on the familiars. These will work together as combos for some cards and also will count for your endgame points. Action number 4 is to research a spell. You're going to pay the mana cost in blue in this top corner here and put it into your tableau. So I said I couldn't afford any of them, but I can still take them. So I'm going to take the Pulsing Tower for some end game points. So I will pay 5 mana and the Pulsing Tower will come into my tableau. If I currently have the reagents to be able to cast it, I can now cast it. If not, it's just going to sit there for now, and I can cast it either when I gather reagents, as I mentioned earlier, or when I summon a familiar, which we'll come on to. But for now, it's going to sit there. I'm going to potentially pop it down here because it's not in play yet. Action number 5 is to build a tower. You're going to pay either the reagents or the cost in gold shown at the bottom there. So in this case, I could pay 1 toadstool, which I have, and take the Emerald Stronghold and pop it in front of me. None of my schools of magic match, so this isn't great, but let's see what happens. We then refill that. Don't forget, your towers will allow you to have extra resources. So now I have the 1 tower in my tableau, I can have a maximum of up to 11 resources. Our 6th and final action is to summon a familiar. You're going to pay the cost in mana shown at the top here, and you can do one of 4 different actions as shown on the card. Now these you must play immediately, and of course the familiars there don't match any of the other schools I've got. So let's have a look. If I was to pay, I quite like this spider here, I'm going to pay 5 mana and take this card. Then the 4 actions that are available to me. I can collect 3 Mandrake, because Mandrake goes with the School of Enchantment, and then have the opportunity to cast a spell. I can take 1 gold for every enchantment card, so every card I have in my tableau with this symbol. This would include spells, whether they've been played or not. New research. New research would allow me to discard all the spells that are currently on the board, replace them with 4 new ones. Ooh, listen, oh, and then I've got some enchantment here, which is nice. And I can pick one for free to take. So I'm going to take this enchantment one because it actually matches up with some stuff. So I pop that there because I haven't actually cast that spell. So the final thing you can do with a familiar is enter the dungeon. And this is a little bit of push your luck, which we do like. So I'm going to take the dungeon deck and I'm going to draw cards until I want to leave the dungeon. So let's have a look. Right, we've got a Dungeon Denzian who is a Medusa. So essentially she gives me 1 point of damage. Now I can take up to 2 hits before I'm booted out of the dungeon. I haven't got any treasure yet, so I'm going to keep hunting. Whee! Treasure, collect 2 gold, that's fine. Oh, treasure, dagger. I think at this point I'm going to stop. I can't help myself. I have to look at what the next one is. Yeah, next one's a bugbear, so I'd have been dead. So I'm going to collect 2 gold from here. These are 5s. Take some gold. Oops. Take some gold and keep the dagger and the treasure cards to one side for now. But face down because I've taken. Any bad guys that you caught in the dungeon get shuffled back into the deck. So you shuffle them and pop them back on the board. So we need to refill familiar, refill. If at any point in the game you have fulfilled any of the achievement tiles here, you're going to take the tile. So let's say I had 7 Eye of Newts. I'm going to pop that there, ready for scoring it at the end of the game. So let's just have a few turns and see what we get. I'm going to need to gather some more reagents. I get an extra on the Nightshade because of my wizard here. So I'm going to gather reagents here. Now, although there's 4 showing, don't forget I can only take 3. But I'm going to take a Nightshade. I don't know, what do I need? Oh, Mandrake for my spells and a horn. And because of that wizard, I get to take an extra Nightshade. So I'm going to take that. This goes here. Increase the value on the horn, the toadstool, the Eye of Newt, and the Nightshade. We discard that card. Can I cast any of my spells? No, not yet. I don't have the reagents. So I then just draw another card and play would pass on to the next player. Now, looking at my spell cards, there's different types of spell cards. There's cards that are a one-off, and then cards that are kind of constant or endgame. So Pulsing Towers here, it means all my tower cards are going to give me +1 victory points, and Haste here is going to be a one-off that gives me a bonus action. So if I'm going to get bonus points for towers, I kind of want to start working towards getting some towers and also getting the reagents I need to be able to cast that. So let's have a look at what's in my hand. I need sulfur and toadstools. So I'm going to do a gather reagents here. I'm going to get a sulfur. Woohoo! I'm going to take some mandrake because I need that for my other one. And a horn. So put them and then increase on nightshade, which is nice because I get the extra mandrake, sulfur and toadstools. Discard that and draw another one. Now, seeing as I'm getting extra points for towers, let's have a look at the towers. So that one is going to cost me 1 horn. So let's buy that, put that and take that tower and hope that a different tower comes up. Now, because I've got 2 towers, I can have 12 resources as well. And this one still doesn't match anything I want. So let's take some more reagents. I need sulfur. Hey! Gather reagents. So I'm going to take 2 sulfur. And I'm actually going to take an Eye of Newt because that tower needs one of them. So I'm going to take those 3. How many resources have I got? 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. But I'm okay. And increase the price on horn, sulfur, mandrake, and where's mandrake there? Nightshade. So now I need 1 toadstool still to cast, and I'm just not getting that. So I'm just going to buy another tower. I'm just going to stock up on all my lovely towers. So I pay the 1 Eye of Newt and pop that alchemy tower. I'm getting all the different schools, which isn't what we want. Hey. But I do have an enchantment familiar and there's an enchantment tower out. So I'm going to start the bidding on this little dude here. So Rob's not going to outbid me, are you, Rob?
No.
No. So I'm going to bid 5. Do I win? I win. So I'm going to take him and pop him in my tableau, which means when I get mandrake, I'm going to get an extra mandrake. So play is going to continue in this manner until you have a big old pile of spells, wizards, familiars and towers, and play will continue until the game end. Game end is triggered when one of the deck runs out. So it might be the wizards, the towers, the spell or the familiar deck. When any of them run out, play until the end of the round and then you're going to go to final scoring. When one of the decks run out on the board, you're going to play to the end of the round so everyone has equal numbers of turns and then do your scoring. So you're going to get victory points for each wizard and tower pairing you have. So let's have a look at what we've got. We have an enchantment pairing, so that is 1 pair. And then also I have got a druidry pairing. And then I've got some that don't match, but that's a pair even though it doesn't match. So the matching pairs will give me 10 victory points for each pair. So I'd get 10 points to that and 10 points to that. This not matching pair will give me 5 victory points. Now, let's say I'd managed to cast both of these spells over the game. This spell matches that pair. So this spell would give me an extra 5 victory points. Any wizards or towers that aren't part of a pairing will give me 1 victory point. Gold will give me the points shown on them. So in this case, that would be 2 victory points for 2 golds. You're then going to check to see if any of your spells give you points. So here, this one, I'd get +1 VP for each of my towers, and I actually have 4 towers. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 extra points for this spell card. Any achievement tiles you've managed to pick up are worth 10 victory points. Then we go back to the dungeon cards. This is why I kept hold of these. The player who has the most dungeon items in their tableau will get 10 victory points, and the player with the second most will get 5 victory points. So even if you collect the gold on these cards, just pop them in front of you and don't forget, because they will give you points at the end of the game. Your familiars won't score you anything at the end of the game, but don't forget the good stuff they've given you over the game. So like this one could well have given me quite a bit of gold in the game, which of course would be points, or entering the dungeon, which is going to give you gold and items and points. So although these don't score at the end of the game, don't forget them because they're important. Going to add up all your points, and the player with the most wins. Obviously, comparisons are going to be made between Lizard Wizard and Raccoon Tycoon. I actually really like both games. I would count Lizard Wizard as almost like the older sibling of Raccoon Tycoon. There's a lot more to it. And then also they're trying to match the symbols and stuff. So there is more meat on the lizard's bones than the raccoon's. I don't know. Is that how it works? We love Forbidden Games. They just present everything in such a super accessible, easy to understand format. The art is always spot on. Obviously we're biased because they have beautiful red boxes, but these component trays, now these actually fit really nicely into the top of the box once you've packed the game away. And as you can see, I had them out for the game, so you can just pull them out the box and pop them on the table like this, and everything you need is there. You don't need 100 little bowls and stuff, which is just that extra bit of thought has been put into stuff like this, and I really appreciate that. Obviously we have bowls, we have component trays, but once you sit down to play a game, you then go walk across the room and get a bowl, whereas you don't have to. Look, it's all here, it's all done for you. It's definitely slicker than the prototype we had. There's only a few small adjustments that have been made. I think some of the spells have been ordered. There's some stuff that's been removed. The familiars have actually been made a bit more powerful, if memory serves me right. I think they only had 3 options before, whereas now they've got the 4 options. It's a great game. If you backed it on Kickstarter, you should be getting it now. If you're lucky enough to have the deluxe edition, I'm jealous. I've just got the crummy, normal, boring retail version, but the deluxe edition really is stunning, with the really nice wooden pieces. You've got the big chunky start player marker that Forbidden Games are kind of known for. Yeah. So if you've got it coming on Kickstarter, I hope that's made it a bit clearer. If you don't have it coming on Kickstarter, why didn't you back it, you naughty person? Go and buy it in the shops now. Lizard Wizard from Forbidden Games, available now. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, click like, subscribe and stuff. Come and say hello on the other socials, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, at iPlayRed. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.